Matt Kenseth is joining us now. Matt comes in here 6th in points. This weekend he's driving the number 17, Steven Seiler, Tunnel to Towers, Gary Sinise Foundation Ford, and for Roush Fenway Racing. So maybe talk a little bit about that initiative that you're involved with this weekend, Matt.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to. I'm struggling today. It's pretty cool to have them guys on board. You know, I don't know all the players who I'll put it together to start with, but to have JB in the car, met him last year up at Walter Reed and learned his story a little bit, and he's close to Martinsville. Just so happened to end up being a fan of mine, which is pretty cool, and putting the Steven Stiller Foundation on there, and you know, trying to raise some money to help him build his house.
Okay, we'll take questions now from Matt. We'll start over here with Jared. Who's got the mic? Right there. Jared, go ahead.
Yeah, Jared Turner, NASCAR pole position. Being kind of pseudo-serious here, Matt, but in the last 3 years, your wife has given birth to 2 baby girls. You're one of several drivers whose wives have given birth to baby girls in the last couple of years. Does it seem like the women are kind of taking over the sport in a way that's in addition to Danica's role in it?
I'm really hoping the next question is going to be better than this one. I don't even really know what the whole question there, what my wife having 2 baby girls and Danica has to do with each other. I don't really understand any of that, what you said, honestly. Has there been some girls born in the garage? Yeah, there's been some boys, too. Everybody's kind of having kids right now, yeah.
Next question, right here, gentleman right here from Bristol.
Jordan Canigliaro, WCYB. What is your reaction to Bristol's announcement that they're going to change the racetrack?
Well, I don't really know what they're doing, you know, for sure. So I haven't really heard exactly how they're going to change it, or if they're going to tear it all up, or what they're going to do. So, you know, if it makes things better and the fans are more excited about it, and the racing's more exciting from the fans and the announcers' view and all that stuff, then I think that's always you know, that's always a good thing. So a lot of things change throughout the years. I'm not sure you can put the track exactly back how it was and have the racing exactly back how it was. There's a lot of other things that are different, a lot of other moving parts and pieces. But I'm all about side-by-side racing and being able to pass for sure. And I thought the passing was actually a little better this time. They did some patchwork off of turn 2, which made the top a little slicker, and it seemed like there was more side-by-side racing this race than there was, you know, last season. So. You know, I don't know, whatever it looks like when we get there, we'll try to adapt to that and do the best we can.
Bob, front row here.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. You obviously kind of lost a day of media blitz after the Daytona 500 since it ran a day later, and you see where Daytona's bringing you down to actually in kind of for that little celebration. I mean, is that a big deal to you? And kind of, I mean, you're not somebody like who I think loves the spotlight, you know. Have you not missed anything, any part of, you know, maybe a lack of blitz from that Daytona 500 win?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the last time we won the 500, the Monday morning stuff was really fun. All the crew got to spend the night and, you know, go to breakfast and induct the car into, I don't know what they call it, but it used to be Daytona USA. They had leave the car there for all the fans to see for the year, and got to do a lot of neat stuff there. All the crew signed the car, and we put it up there. And so that was a fun morning. We didn't do that this year, so that's kind of what we're going back down to do, which I look forward to that. I mean, I remember, you know, it was probably, I guess, before I started racing Daytona 500, was going in there, and I was seeing the car sitting there from the year before, and seeing all the cars in there and all that stuff. I thought was really neat from a fan's perspective. So it's cool to have it there, and looking forward to going down there and officially, you know, putting it in there.
Mike Mulhern and then Mike Embry. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Mulhern, MikeMulhern.net. You're a cerebral sort of guy. If Bristol were repaved in asphalt, can you think your way through what that would look like going down into turn 1 on a hot August night?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, I always said for my first time going to Bristol until they reconfigured it that I thought the configuration was great, how the old Bristol was, if it was just blacktop instead of concrete. And I just say that because usually, blacktop wears out a little bit where concrete really doesn't. It seemed like there'd maybe, you know, like back way in the old days, everybody used to kind of run the top there, and some guys would be in the bottom, and it seemed like it would make multiple grooves. We certainly have multiple grooves right now, although the preferred groove is on the top, but there's certainly multiple grooves that we never used to have. But I always thought the old pictures and all the stuff from a blacktop Bristol was pretty cool.
Let's go Mike Embry right here, front row.
Mike Embry, Speed.com. Matt, it's been, I think, a decade since a Ford won a race at this track. Is there a particular reason you can point to for that, or just circumstances?
Well, I don't think there's a manufacturer issue as far as winning races here. A lot of it probably has to do that I was driving one of them, maybe. I don't know. Haven't been my best track, you know, for sure. So, has it really been that long? A decade? You know, so I don't know. I know Jimmy and Kurt won it one year. I don't know what year that was, and you know, but it's never been one of my great tracks. I can't really speak for anybody else, but for me, it's just I feel like I'm kind of the weak link here about getting them guys the information and all the stuff that they need to make the car drive how I need it to drive.
Justin, corner right here.
Justin Long, SI.com. Next weekend's the first off weekend of the season. It comes a little bit later than what it has in the past. Then you go 14 weeks till the only other off weekend in July. Is there an importance to get away, to refresh your mind? Are you looking forward to that off weekend? Does it matter because of what you've got coming up? And do you have any particular plans or anything like that?
Yeah, I think everybody's different. I think, you know, for me, the circumstances every year are a little bit different. Sometimes you're, you know, you can't wait for an off weekend. Other times you just soon keep racing. So this year's been a little different for me. I thought the off season was first off season I can remember in a long time seemed really long. You know, it seemed like we had a lot of time off, and I didn't have a ton of stuff to do, and I was really enjoying it until the last couple weeks of the off season was tough for me, and then going down and winning Daytona was a great thing, but we were you know, really busy. Wasn't home for about 3 weeks, and got behind my sleep and did all that stuff, and honestly just kind of starting to get caught up with that probably the last week or two. So I'm kind of looking forward to the break. Looking forward to Easter. Katie's family comes down, my family comes down, and we kind of all spend that together as a family. So I'm looking forward to that. Ross is going to run Hickory on Saturday, so we're going to go up there and watch him, and then have Easter together on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that weekend and getting a weekend at home.
Patrick, right here on the left. Matt.
Patrick Levy, NASCAR Media Group. Matt, after the break, we'll be in Texas. You had a win there last year. Can you talk about looking forward to going back to Texas?
Yeah, I mean, I've always really liked Texas, the track and the crowd and the area, and even the promoter's not that bad of a guy. So I always enjoy going there. It's been a pretty good track for us in the past. It's kind of a unique layout for a mile and a half, how flat the straightaways and the corner entries and exits are, and the corners have a lot of banking. So it's a track that I enjoy. I'm looking forward to getting back there.
Okay, Nate, and then we'll end with Jim Mutter. Go ahead, Nate.
Nate Ryan, USA Today. Matt, sort of the obligatory question. This is Brian Vickers' second race back, and of course a lot of people are talking about what happened when he was here last fall. He and Michael Waltrip were both in here earlier, and Michael Waltrip said that he had kind of talked to both you guys and that everything had been left behind last year at Phoenix. Is that kind of where things stand coming in here? Do you think he's kind of bygones and things are good?
Yeah, I mean, certainly from my standpoint, I mean, that's all in the past. I mean, you gotta move forward. I think if you're sitting there worrying about that stuff and thinking about it, you're certainly not, you know, giving your best effort, you know, to try to get the best finish that you can. So I mean, I think that's all, you know, water under the bridge, and you move forward from there. I'm sure he's excited to be back in the car, and had a great run at Bristol, and I think probably a lot of people, but probably both of us, are probably looking forward to racing Sunday and you know, getting last year kind of everybody else's minds and hopefully ours too.
Final question right here, Jim. Take that mic here from Nate. Thank you.
Jim Uttershaw, Observer. NASCAR returns to Rockingham in a couple weeks. You were the last Cup race winner there. First, what was your impression of racing there during your career? I think you had Cup and Nationwide wins there. And do you hold the kind of special memory being the last person to get a trophy from there?
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff about Rockingham for me. You know, it was a site of our first Nationwide Series win, which was probably one of the most exciting races I've probably ever been part of in my whole career. So that was special for us. You know, we wrapped up the championship at Rockingham that year, and then we went the next spring, I believe, was the last race there, and we won the last race there, Cup race. So, I mean, there's been a lot of really cool things that have happened for us at Rockingham. It's a great track. You know, we started off and ran okay there, and then we went through a period where we ran just horrible there. And I remember we used to, before the testing rules, we used to go test there every year. And I remember going down there with Robbie, and we'd bring, you know, whatever, 12 sets of tires or something, and go through them all in a year or in a day because the whole place was so wore out. And we just kept, we'd go there and test every single time. And then finally, I think 2002, maybe we won the spring race, and we ran pretty good from there until they closed it down. But our first few trips there were somewhat of a struggle. So it was a fun track. You know, it was one of the first tracks I actually went to and watched a nationwide race, and it looks so high banked and fast and all that, but it would get really slick, like a little short track, and it was really a fun track to drive, challenging.
Matt, thanks a lot, and good luck this weekend, okay?
All right, thank you, guys.